Hey, folks, welcome to another Morning Cup of Joe. You're here for a cup of Joe. I'm here for a cup of green tea. Still boiling hot. This one's really hot. Gotta let that cool off for about a month. Anyway, glad to be here early in the morning, as usual, with you. It's 7:35 a.m. and I'm here on Monday, November the 6th, 2023. And to start with, I've got all the lights on in here. I don't really like having this many lights on early in the morning. See if I do that. It's a little on the darker side. I want the sun is coming through, so I don't really need all this stuff, I don't think. But we'll see. Right now I got the background lit up. We got Spring Hill Jim here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jim. Ah, don't mind me if I just go slow. It's always tough starting out in the morning. Doing these cup of joes is fun. But like I could feel like again, I could feel a cough coming on because I'm just getting up, I'm just talking. I got the throat from overnight. You know, the mouth is dry, all that stuff. And usually people wait till they wake up a while and they're up for a couple hours, before they do these things. So, yep. And what do I have on the agenda for today? That's what you do as a retiree, or I do anyway, as this retiree. I'm always thinking, well, let's see now. Let's get up, decide what it is that's pending today. What do I have to do? I know I'm going to go to the mall in a few hours, and I'm going to walk this morning, do my morning mall walk. Then I feel like there's something else I have to do, but wow, I can't think. It's so early. I know that tonight I'm going to have my Talk More Talk show. Join us over at Talk More Talk. That's a channel right here on YouTube. Look it up, and we're going to be doing more about now and then. With we got different people there, different opinions, and that's going to be later on. Those are the two big pressing things. Oh, also, I'm going to have a new video up. A video is going to be an interesting video with a young 20-year-old a Beatle fan who I met her in a record store, and boy, does she really like old music and the Beatles. So that's going to be a video. It's going to be up later. Hi, Harold. Harold is here. Do I have any promotional material for now and then? No, I don't. At least not yet. It's a shame the sleeve is so plain. You talking about the sleeve? I don't know where the most light is. Yeah, it's plain. But you know what's crazy? I'm starting to like it a little more. Believe me, I'm the most critical about this bland, boring sleeve of all. And yet, because now that I'm getting comfortable with it, I'm loving the song and the video so much. I don't really mind it so much. Um, yeah. Come on, everybody. It's Monday morning here in the East. Rise and shine. And the people that are over there in the UK, it's much later in the day already. So come on, let's go. It's lunchtime over there. Let's start having some discussion here. How much for that small disc? $20. Hmm. This was 1999. I mean, the guy that I know just said to me, "Just give me 20." He didn't charge me the tax, He just said, "Here, give me the 20. That's good enough." So, Jim, you say the thumbnail for the video would have looked great on the sleeve in the style of Let It Be. Well, I'm not sure which thumbnail you're talking about. Hello, Matchstick Man. What's up? Good morning. How much was the round trip Uber to pick up now and then at Target in Oklahoma? Yeah, that's a good I forgot it's round trip. I don't well, the thing is, I hate to say it this way, but it's true. I mean, I don't understand anything. I've never taken Uber in my life. My girlfriend does that 'cause she has the car, whatever she gets it on her PayPal account. I don't even have a PayPal account yet. I wanna get one. Definitely do. But she takes care of it. She's just like sometimes she tells me how much, sometimes it's not. I didn't think about that round trip, it's round trip. I don't think it was that much, honestly, in this case, because the prices also are less in Oklahoma where I was. So I really don't know. But we spent a lot of money at the wedding we went to in Oklahoma, and I always feel I want to specify money that we don't really have. And what I mean by that is, um, our savings. This is a lot of this comes from our savings, and for our future and everything. And it's not like we have a great amount of income coming in or anything. I'm retired. She isn't, but we've only got so much anyway. Is that small disc red or black? Neither. The small disc is clear vinyl. Thanks for reminding me. I also have to do a video opening up the clear vinyl, which I forgot about. I've got a lot of things coming. So there you go. Hi, Dan. Did I see the New York Times article about Now and Then and the love story at the heart of it? No, have not. If you went to HMV in Liverpool to get the red Now and Then, you could get a red paper wristband with it. Oh well, I guess I'm gonna miss out. Gonna miss out on that one. Actually, it's a shame because I actually have. I don't know if you could see. Well, behind my chair, you see it? It's a mess behind my chair. But see, I've got the Now and Then album standing up, but you can't see it because it's behind my chair. From this angle, you can't see it. In fact, well, you know what I should really do? I found a good spot to put it there in the future. Bill Sharkey says, not much future at our age. Not much. I'm hoping for at least like 30 years, but it's funny how that goes. I wouldn't mind 30 years. 30 years sounds good. 30 years sounds like enough, at this age. But 15 years doesn't sound too good. 20 years doesn't sound too good. 15 and 20 not enough. 30, it seems like a lot for some reason. Did I check the album section at Target? Do they have a good selection? No, I didn't check it. I mean, once in a while, if I'm in Target, I'll flip around. But no, come on, they don't have anything good there. It's crazy. Taylor Swift and well, again, I don't mean to put Taylor Swift down. I don't know her music, from what I've heard, she has very good music, and she's a talent, and she's even a good writer. But I'm just saying the Taylor mania, that kind of thing. Good morning to Zach. Jim says, I just got the latest Ringo EP on CD, the McCartney Sunshine. What is it again? Feeling the sunlight. I forget the name of it. But you like the song? You say it's great. I like it a lot too. I don't think it's a great song, but it's good. I like it. All right, folks. I got a different cup here today. You know, I also try to change this up a little bit with different cups if I'm going to do this on a more frequent basis. Yes, I'm sorry about the sipping. Maybe some of you like it, some of you don't. All right. Okay. Paul Porto says, listening to Now and Then has put me in the mood to hear the anthology era tracks, solo Beatles songs. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to hear that. Jim says, I have liked most of Ringo's EPs. Is it true he's doing a country album? Yes. Well, a country EP. I think the next one coming is the country EP, whenever he releases it. And people have wanted Ringo to do another country album for decades, and this may be it. Good morning to Lengo McHarrison. How do you rank Free as a Bird, Real Love, and Now and Then? Right now, I like Now and Then number one, which is a shock because I thought it was the worst of the three when I heard the demo tape. But because of there's such a big fanfare for this, the fanfare, the emotion, the video, the love, the, the heart tugging emotion, all that. I think I like this the best. I like Real Love second best, Free as a Bird third. Um, but that could change, you know. What's my thoughts on the Love Me Do remix? Well, I only heard it on the phone, you know, and I've always I want to practice what I preach because I've always told people that listening on the phone is not the optimal way to judge anything. But seeing as I was away in Oklahoma at the time and didn't really have any other means to listen to this, and I hadn't had the single yet. I judge that way, and it's okay. I haven't. I want to hear. I'm going to hear it when I get to play it on the vinyl first, and maybe I'll update you and tell you what I think of it. Hearing it the proper way, you know. Good morning, Carlos. Carlos is saying good morning from France, and I love it. I love it. Keep it coming. Nothing like hearing people from all over the world joining me for a cup of Joe. What time is it over there, Carlos? What time do you have over there, please? And Gay Perry. You got any hot babes over there? Hot girls? Love women. Love women. Cheers to the women. Ah, sorry about the swallowing. I feel guilty about it. Don't you find it kind of crazy that nowadays almost anybody can have a radio or TV show like yours? I don't know if crazy is the word. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great, excellent. The problem is, and I dare say this, I don't want to sound too pompous or anything, but people like my show, but there's other people, as I've said, there's other people who have way more audience than I have. There are other people who have way more subscribers, et cetera, et cetera. Having said that, people enjoy watching me. I have people that have come here regularly and tell me they don't even like the Beatles. They're not even Beatles fans, and they come to this channel because they enjoy hearing me. So what I'm trying to say is to back that up a little bit. Yeah, I think it's amazing that people can have these shows here these days on online, but not everybody does it as well. I'm trying to be humble too, you know. That's why I'm saying I'm no great star. There are tons of people out there that are more exciting and interesting than me, and I'm sure people who watching me that are detractors will say, "You got that right, pal." But seriously, people seem to like me overall and the way I do these things. So I think that's what really blows my mind more than anything is not so much the fact that people like to watch me for Beatles content, but people like to watch me for me, and I really appreciate that. So thank those of you out there who feel that way. Okay, Carlos says it's 13:47 in France. So do I take that to mean one, like 1 o'clock, one something, 1:47? Lengo McHarrison says he likes my laid back approach on videos. Me laid back? Really? Wow. I think I always thought it was mostly opposite. But Spring Hill Jim says I saw the Free as a Bird music video on TV on Saturday for the first time in a while. It's a touching watch, but now and then is something else. Absolutely. To me, the video for now and then blows away the Free as a Bird video. Yeah, it's what can I say? It's wonderful, wonderful tribute to the Beatles, wonderful tribute to their career, wonderful tribute to the passings of John and George, wonderful tribute and give back, pay back, give back to the fans. All those things. Carlos says, "Have you heard about Peter Jackson saying that other Beatles projects are possible with this technology? What do you think about that?" You know, I'll tell you, Carlos. Originally, if I had heard that a month ago or 2 weeks ago, even, I would have said, "Oh no, 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 don't, no more, no more. Let's not get crazy with this." But now, because I love the video so much for Now and Then, and I love the song so much and all the emotions it evokes, I think now I'm okay. I'm open to it. So, yeah, well, we don't even know when he says Beatles projects, Peter Jackson. We don't know exactly what he means. I know that they have more footage, a lot more footage from the Get Back material that they can do, and there's talk that he's going to try to do a documentary on the making of the White Album. That's just a rumor. There's been some footage floating around that we've seen that's leaked out of the White Album, Paul doing Blackbird, and I think Mother Nature's Son, and John and Yoko sitting down, and John playing some guitar. Trying to remember what else I've seen. There's a lot of things that can be done. They take the Hamburg, Germany album and try to bring the sound up and the voices up. So anyway, Carlos, I think it's a very exciting time, and the future going forward is very interesting indeed. So Jeff Allen says, non-Beatles fans making reaction videos are starting to piss me off, trying to hard to eke out a tear. I heard that last night. I watched my discussion last night. I was here with Tom Hunyadi, and I was here with Matthew Street, and I was here with Beatley Tone, and Tom Hunyadi said the same thing. He's seen these fake videos. I haven't seen any reaction videos. I've been too busy going to Oklahoma, flying, running to a wedding, coming back home, making my own videos. Trying to get my own content up there. I haven't had time to watch a lot of other stuff yet. Um, Hello to Henry. Good morning. Harold says, "Do you like Mick Jagger and Keith Richards solo albums?" I never heard a Keith Richards solo album in my life, and I really don't care to. Mick Jagger, I mean, I like the song "Just Another Night." I love the song "Lucky in Love" that he had in 1985. But I don't know much other Mick Jagger stuff, but I like those couple of songs. Matchstick Man says, "Do you purchase high res downloads? Now and Then sounds amazing in high res. I don't do anything with downloads. I'm from the old school. I believe in having the physical media. I do not like. I like to have stuff, as you can see, own stuff. It's fun to me. I don't understand the whole concept of things just being around in the cloud or they're not really there. They're invisible. You can't touch. You can't have them. But to listen, um, for listening purposes, just to hear it is great. But let's see. There's a story in Pauline Sutcliffe's book about a Lennon Stewart Sutcliffe song that she wanted Noel Gallagher to finish and released it, but Yoko wouldn't allow it. I've never heard of that, but that's intriguing. Let's see. Duncan Moss says, "What do people think of an AI cleared up release of the record in spite of all the danger? That'll be the day in several formats, including a 78 version." I think that would be fascinating because the quality is very bad on there. But however, not only is the quality bad, but to me, the performances are bad. I mean, it's great for historic reasons. And I know Lee Santa is here. Lee, please back me up on this one, Lee. Please, please, please. I hope you agree with me on this. I'll get to you in a minute, Lee. But yeah, those early recordings, the Quarrymen, the playing leaves something to be desired, but I'm totally aboard for pure historic purposes. Okay. Lee says, "Joe, do you think viewership for Beatle channels have increased significantly since the Now and Then single?" I don't know about others. channels, but mine has. I gotta say, I'm doing very well right now with viewership um, on my channel because of the now and then release. You know, and my subscribers, I've gained over 300 subscribers just since this came out, which is unheard of. You know, it takes months and months to get that many subscribers. So I appreciate that. Thank you anybody that's here that subscribed. That you know, if anybody's here who's recently subscribed, who never has, let me know. Just say hi, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And this sip of cheers to you. Um, Jeff Burnell says there's a YouTube channel that has now and then with missing lyrics. Have you heard it? It is amazing. I have not heard it with the missing lyrics. At some point during all this craziness, I'll probably get around to trying it out. I know I've heard that there's versions out there like that, a version or two out there that has the missing lyrics in it. Okay. Earth asked me, how much in a scale of 10 do you think social pressure or the opinions of others influences on how much people like a group like the Beatles instead of the power of their music alone? That's an interesting question, but I really don't know if I can gauge that. I think on a scale of 10, how much do I think social pressures? Maybe 2 out of 10. I really believe the Beatles' music speaks for itself. And most of the, say, the people who just coming into the Beatles, they may have gotten interested in wanting to seek it out. But what might have started them getting some kind of interest is the fact that everybody talks about them and they're so popular. But once they hear the music, music takes over. It speaks for itself. Uh, let's see. Henry says, Joe, I'm surprised you don't have as many subscribers as Larry Graves. Well, you know, Larry Graves has been doing this. He's a veteran. He's been doing this way longer than I have. I don't know how many years he's been doing this. I've been doing it s- uh, 11 and a half years. I don't know how many years Larry's been doing it, but I think it's close to 20 years. Am I right about that? Okay. Jeff Jefferson says, I get to catch Cup of Joe live all week. I'm off from work. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you know, again, this has become an every morning thing and everyday thing to me. I'll probably skip days here and there, but for the most part, right now, I'm trying to do them every day. So who knows? Uh, Jim says it would be cool to get to hear the full show from the St. Peter's Church, the Garden Fete, on the day John and the Quarrymen met Paul. Apparently, Apple have it. I think I heard little clips from that once. Might have been on the Beatles channel. You know. Do I think Paul will sing now and then in concert? You never know. I mean, he might. My first impulse was to say no, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. And then I'm thinking he might. Okay. Lingo McHarrison asked me which remix song on the new Red and Blue that you haven't heard yet are you looking most forward to? She Loves You is the one I'm most looking forward to, I think. I'm looking forward to everything on the Red album, all the early stuff, 63, 64, 65. 60, some of the, any 66, I think we've heard all the 66 stuff already. 65, really. 63, 4, 5. But seeing as I always call She Loves You my favorite Beatles song, and believe me, I realize how impossible that is to pick just one Beatles song as your favorite. Although I always defer to that because I always figure that I love the early Beatles so much, and She Loves You was probably one of the first songs I loved as like a 3-year-old. Um, Excuse me. And I just think "She Loves You" is like absolutely the epitome of their early sound and their yeah, 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 Beatle craze, Beatlemania, you know, takeover. Is there a complete performance recording of "In Spite of All the Danger"? I don't think so. I don't remember now at this point the Quarrymen at home tape. I don't know if Now and Then on the new Blue album is any different or exactly the same, but I gotta think it's exactly the same. I can't imagine it being any different. Is publishing on Now and Then credited to MPL Communications? I don't have the credits really here that I could read. I wouldn't think so. It shouldn't be. Good morning to George Alexander. I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you here. Dream Wolf Picks asks, "How was Oklahoma?" Overall, looking back on it, it was fun, and we had a good time. A lot of times during the actual trip, there was some crazy things going on, but after all is said and done, I consider it fun. I could see myself living in the downtown, like city area, busier area of Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I was in. But a lot of the stuff up where there's nobody there and there's nothing for miles and just country, I wouldn't want to live there. That's just me. I like to be around where everything is, and I occasionally like to get away to where nothing is, too, as a relaxation, a countryside thing. But don't really like that as a living thing. But yeah, uh, Henry says, Joe, don't you love how Paul shows John's segment when he sings "I've Got a Feeling"? I heard he kept that tradition with the current Australia tour. Yeah, that's a nice touch. That was nice. Peter Jackson approached Paul, told him I could do this thing where I have John isolated. You could sing with him if you like. And it was Peter Jackson's baby. And Spring Hill Jim confirms the only Beatles recording of "In Spite of All the Danger" is the Percy Phillips recording from Anthology 1. Uh, Earth says, when your partner, meaning my girlfriend, when when she watches these videos and hears you saying these comments you make about liking women, does she mention anything to you? She doesn't watch them. What? No, I mean, she doesn't watch my live stream. She doesn't go around watching my videos. But like, I'll show her things like after certain videos. I say, "Hey, check this out." And she loves what I do. She thinks I'm very good at it. She's very supportive of me. If you watch the video when we went to Oklahoma, we were looking for the record. She's very supportive. She hopped in that Uber with me, and she actually, you could see her. She's actually the one going up there. She put it under her name. Hey, I ordered a record. And this kind of thing. Uh, she's really helpful and everything. So I really appreciate that. But anyway, I know she wouldn't appreciate it too much. But hey, look, what can I say? Um, I told her a lot of nice things yesterday. She's very teary-eyed. I don't want to get too romantic here. I told her a lot of things, how I feel about her and stuff, and how beautiful she looked at the wedding and everything. She was in tears, all that kind of thing. So I'm getting emotional too now here. So anyway, yeah. Okay. Good morning to Woodland Goblin. What's going on, Woodland? George Alexander says it's been said that John didn't do anything in the late 70s, that he was just killing time, but he must have been writing music during that time, like Now and Then. Well, he was fiddling around. He was fiddling around making demo tapes, for his own amusement. I guess you get bored sitting in there, sitting in the Dakota apartments doing a little. Lee says last time Paul was involved in a Beatles project, it inspired a very Beatles-esque work, Flaming Pie. What can we now expect? I don't know, but like I say, Lee, I'm giving you total credit here. I'm eating total crow here. You were 100% right. You know, Paul did a wonderful job on Now and Then. You're 100% right, and he really pulled it. It's amazing this man can still do these things. You know, Stephen McVeigh, hello. Says, I had to take an hour-long journey to Glasgow to buy my first new 45 in decades. Got the last 7-inch blue, only one per customer. I'd like to get the blue. I have uh, the marble one coming, and I have the clear vinyl here, but I think I want the blue as well. I'll get it eventually. Um, let's see. Yes, you got it. Woodland Goblin. Yeah, I never agreed with Woodland Goblin more than this. He says, "We are still men and we like women." Absolutely, absolutely. It's all natural. It's 100% natural that I mean, the idea that, you always look at different people. Right? You don't stop looking or feeling. Once you stop looking and feeling, you're dead. Uh, Love Me Do. Hi, Wes. Sorry, folks. I'm trying here. Oh boy, I got something here I got to fix. Okay, Love Me Do publishing credited to MPL. That and PS I Love You are owned by Paul. Carlos says, I'm still in shock about what Peter Jackson has been doing for the Beatles, resurrecting the band to the world. Is Peter Jackson the sixth Beatle? I like that. Oh, you're good. You're good. I like that very much. Peter Jackson, the sixth Beatle. You know what? I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that, Carlos. People are calling him the sixth Beatle. I love it. Matchstick Man says, I thought I saw a photo with you and Linda McCartney. Did you get to chat with her? I met Linda McCartney twice, kind of. I didn't get a chance to really talk with her. And the photo that I have was the second day. She had been shopping. She was out shopping in New York City, and she came walking down the street coming back to the hotel, and I asked for a picture. She's the sweetest thing. Sure, absolutely. Proposed for a picture with me. The night before, I was at the hotel as well, and she was arriving, or she was leaving the hotel, coming out at nighttime. And there were more than one person there. We didn't have a chance to talk. The only thing that happened was I had a friend with me, and he was next to me, and he said, "Linda," he says, "please give this guy an autograph. He took off from work today to be here or something." And he goes, "Oh, did you, naughty boy?" She sounds British, even though she's not British. She puts that accent on. You naughty boy. That's Linda's humor, sense of humor. So that's all she said. That's what she said the first night, and the next day the one you saw of the photograph of me with her, we didn't say anything. You could really, but I don't want to be that. I don't want to be intrusive. But good morning to Jamie. Henry says so many people are saying Paul's voice is completely shot now. Thoughts? Well, I've made videos too about Paul's voice, the way it's been in recent years, last decade, whatever it's been, 2 decades maybe. I don't know. Look, sometimes Paul's voice sounds better than others. That's all I could say about it. And I accept it. You either accept it or you don't. And I accept it. I'm taking this the way I look at it is I'm taking this journey with Paul. From when he started at say 1962 all the way till now, the same age as me. I was born in 1962. Well, he's not the same age as me, but I was born in 62. Since I'm born 62 all the way till modern time 2023, excuse me, fix the cap. I've been pretty much just going along with everything and accepting him. If he sounds older now, he's older now, and I'll accept him as that. Anyway, it's hit and miss with Paul's voice. That's what best I could say. Have you heard the story of the Beatles meeting Bridget Bardot? John Lennon was speechless. When you tell me that, it triggers off in the back of my brain a memory, but I can't remember the details. But I think I had heard something about that at one point. Okay. Lee says John recorded Now and Then in '78. No. What if the shoe was on the other foot? What Paul's song would have been in Paul's pool of material at that time with a little luck? Yeah. I guess so. Joe, what's your wedding song gonna be? The Utopian national anthem, because I don't plan myself on getting married again. You wonder how much personal information you should share here on these things. But I have said, I was married for 16 years to another woman before that. The marriage kind of got, it wasn't so great after a while. And the two of us parted ways, and it was fairly amicable. It's just that neither one of us really wanted to be the one to say it. So finally, we kind of did it. And we're still friends. My ex-wife and I are friends. We chat every now and then on social media. That's a good thing. But I don't ever want. I've been here, done that kind of thing, and I'm sorry. That's how I feel. I'm saying I'm not sorry as a true apology, as if I've got anything to apologize for to anybody. I'm just saying it as a matter of that's just a matter of expression. Sorry, you know. And by the way, Miss Mayo is fine with it. She's fine with that. Do I think it would she would object if I ever wanted to get married? I don't think she'd object, but she's perfectly fine. You know, how do I know this small disc is clear? Well, it says on there at the bottom, clear vinyl. I don't know if you could make that out, clear vinyl. Okay. Harold says, I got my CD single ordered. Are you going to get the CD single? Yes, I will now. Yes, I will. What happened was I wound up really loving the song and loving the video so much that I want to get a lot of versions of this, if not all. Who is the fifth Beatle then? George Martin. George Martin is the fifth Beatle in my mind and a lot of people's minds because, he really played instruments, he played keyboards and stuff on, piano, and he arranged everything. I mean, yeah, of course, he's a fifth Beatle. Jamie says, "You've got a picture with Paul as well, right? What's the story with that?" Well, the picture you can see the picture on my banner. It's not really how it looks. The basic thing is that I'd been waiting at Paul's hotel for a long time to get his autograph, and he wasn't signing autographs. And then at one point, it was a very cold day in February. It was the same day that he appeared with Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live. The Chris Farley sketch. That's the day. And at one point, he sent his assistant, John Hamill, out because it was too cold. He would send him out in the cold to sign autographs for everybody. Gave John Hamill their items. He brought them into the warm hotel. Paul signed in the warm hotel. Then he came out and John Hamill came out and gave us everything. And Paul stepped out after he signed to go into the limousine. He said, "Okay, everybody, you got it. Hi, everybody. Got it? Got it? Yeah, okay, great." Then he goes into the limo, and one little kid says, "I didn't get my autograph. I didn't get my autograph." And he goes, "Oh, okay." So he turns around to sign an autograph for the kid. As he does, I'm leaning into the picture. Paul didn't know I was there. I didn't talk to Paul. He didn't know I was there. But I leaned in, and my girlfriend at the time, a different girlfriend, the one who became my wife, uh, snapped a photo of me leaning into the picture. That's really all that is. But the sad side, if there's a sad side to the story, is that this little boy who asked for an autograph was not really interested. He was a decoy because we've been talking to people. His father was an autograph dealer, and he used his son to get the autograph to sell. But I got a photo out of it. With I'm in the photo. That's as close as I've come, folks. That's as close as I've come. So Duncan Moss says there are a lot of heroes in the Beatles story. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. I agree with you. Good morning, Beatletti. Hello, Tony MC. Is Peter Jackson the Richard Lester of the 21st century? Yes, I think so. How many times have I seen Paul live? Vince Tucci wants to know. I've seen Paul, I believe, 11 times live and one sound check. So there you go with that. Beatletti says the Beatles had like 20 number one songs in the US. Free as a Bird and Real Love didn't make number one. I don't know if Now and Then will hit number one. I hope so. Me too. I really think that right now this will be, pardon the word that I never use, awesome if that happened. Well, I knew somebody would say this, Jim. I thought it was going to be Lee. You say, I'd say that Giles Martin has as much right to the sixth Beatle title as Peter Jackson. I wouldn't. Okay. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Woodland Goblin says, the Beatles song is already number one on Spotify and iTunes. And I think that's great. I'd like to see it be number one on Billboard. Have you got anything from the Beatles website yet? The only I've gotten the cassette tape, and I've gotten a 12-inch black vinyl, which is at a record store around here. And I've got the 7-inch marble coming, which is also at a record store over here. I could have bought the two damn records. But who knew? Who knew if the store would get it, you know? How did I find out what hotel Paul was staying at? A friend of mine knew. He knew when he gave me the information. What is the most treasured item in my Beatles collection? Well, the most treasured item has to be the Paul McCartney autograph that I did get. I look. I'm thrilled to have a Paul McCartney autograph. Believe you me, it would have been nice if he signed it in front of me. Hey, but he signed it from inside the hotel, and his assistant handed everything back. Let's see. They clearly needed to do some more print runs of the records. Okay. I wonder if the one album would be re-released if Now and Then got to number one. Well, they're going to have the Red and the Blue albums. I don't think that's necessary. The Red and the Blue albums are coming out with a lot of hits on it. Um, what is this? Piccolina the cat says, "Hello, Joe. Why do people say, quote, if it wasn't for the Beatles, quote, I wouldn't do this or that or the other thing. Was there no music before the Beatles? Thanks for your response." Oh, there was music before the Beatles, and there's music after the Beatles. The Beatles are just the best music ever made. That's all. I can't, I can't, I don't know, respond to that really. I really don't know what that's all about. Uh, you mean like when people say if it wasn't for the Beatles, I wouldn't do this or that. I don't know if you mean other musicians. A lot of people saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show and picked up a guitar or drums and said, "That's it. I want to be." I mean, there's a lot of people. I can't remember them all, think of them, but there were a lot of musicians and recording artists that were inspired by the Beatles, if that's what you mean. But there were people who were inspired by Elvis. Somebody today, in one of my comments, said something I've always said: 100 years from now, there'll be only three people. Number, Elvis, the Beatles, and Bob Dylan. And I agree. Those are the big three. You know. Jim says I've got two Pete Best autographs. I'm very proud of them, but that'll ever get McCartney's. Yeah, I did. Well, I did manage to meet Pete Pete Best. He signed this yellow album here for me. And I have like two or three other Pete Best. I have three other Pete Best autographs that I didn't get in person, but I've gotten elsewhere. Woodland Goblin, did you ever consider selling a few big items in your collection, like the All Things Must Pass Uber box set, to put towards a John Lennon autograph? Never thought of it that way. I'd like to get a John Lennon autograph, but I really have to be pretty sure it's authentic. There's so many forgeries out there. I have real problems with that, you know. I'm putting my mouth. Nobody's here. I put it coughed and I put it my hand to my mouth that I have it, which is a good habit. But anyway, um, Jim says I met Pete Best at the Casbah Coffee Club and got to see him play with his band. This was on Beatles Week in August. Fantastic. Well, Johnny Cash. You said Johnny Cash is pretty big too, but that's open for debate. Yes, Johnny Cash is big. The Rolling Stones are big. A lot of people are big, but to me, that's the big three. I mean, I don't think Johnny Cash is in among the. If I was going to narrow it down to three. Will I ever get in touch with Sean Lennon again? For those who don't know already, I did a video several years ago for the "Give Me Some Truth" John Lennon release, and Sean saw it and really liked it, and he wanted to get in touch with me. People were asking, I don't do Twitter, but he was on Twitter asking, how can I get in touch with him? So finally, some somebody like helped him do that, and we talked by text a few times, and I printed it out. I have a printout of it, so I can always have it, and it was great talking to him. It was so cool, and he just. One of the things I want to say is that one of the things he liked about my review was that he says you have a great set of ears. You don't miss a thing. That's what he said. I was really touched by that. That really meant a lot. But he also appreciated the fact that I don't always just go around praising everything. I'm not a shill or whatever. He actually liked that I was criticizing, so he wanted to know what I didn't like as much as what I liked. So that was great, and, yeah, but it's funny because I've never thought of trying to contact him again or anything. I remember I went at one point, I did say to him at one point, who knows, maybe I have a talk show called Talk More Talk, which is on tonight. Talk More Talk tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Check it out. We're gonna talk about all things now and then. Um, and, Anyway, I just said, "Maybe one day, you might we could have you as a guest on my show." And he said, "Well, if everything is permits us, maybe we can do that or something one day." I don't know if he was just saying that out of courtesy, like, "Yeah, sure, whatever," or why, but I never followed up. So there you go. Do I have a favorite Beatles album cover? Well, out of the regular albums, my favorite covers are probably. I always say Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul is probably my favorite cover. Also, with the Beatles, those two iconic images are my favorite Beatles covers. Um, it's funny because I might have said Sergeant Pepper was my favorite Beatles album cover, if not for, but only except for the fact that it's so overdone. We've seen it so much. The Abbey Road cover and the Sergeant Pepper cover are so we're all overloaded on that. But there you go. Regarding Sean Lennon, Jim says that must have been a proud moment. Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, you know, pe- I try to be as humble as possible. I don't go, but of course, what an achievement that is. We live in a world or culture where you're not supposed to be proud of something, or you're not supposed to really. I mean, I don't go around. You don't ever hear me going around. Hey, I did this. I I met him, and this. Or I talked to him. No, I don't do that. But how great it is to think that, I never got a chance to meet his father, John Lennon. But at least, I've talked to Sean online. That's pretty damn cool. And of course a fan like me, thinks that's a wonderful thing. I really appreciate that. Okay, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for Lee. Fifth and sixth Beatles in the 20th century, Martin and Epstein. I first of all, I don't consider look, I respect and love, so to speak, Brian Epstein. I mean, the man is the one who founded the Beatles, right? But I don't think of him as a Beatle. I'm sorry. In no way, shape, or form do I ever think of Brian Epstein as a Beatle. So he's not a Beatle in any way, shape, or form in the sense that he didn't do anything musically. And then you said in the 20th century, you have to have uh, Giles Martin. No, and I say no. I'm sorry. I just don't think his work is consistently that good. I'm sorry. I've said this before. I'm not going to go into this a lot here, but I'm going to say it's hit and miss. Meaning, it's not totally disliking Giles. I like some of the songs that he's worked on, and some of them I don't like what he did to them, and that's why those albums are not my go-to albums. John Alelo, hello. Says, in your opinion, is Now and Then or the Stones' Hackney Diamonds your favorite? Is that what you're asking me? Are the two of them? I don't want to compare them. I mean, you know why? Because they're different anyway. You know, the Beatles thing is a single. The Rolling Stones' Hackney Diamonds is an album, and I love them both. There you go. Yeah, Billy Preston. Yeah, Billy Preston, I would say, was a kind of a temporary guest Beatle. I put it this way: I would call Billy Preston a Beatle before I would call Brian Epstein a Beatle. That kind of thing. You know. No, I do not own the America album produced by George Martin. I don't get into that. A lot of people do that. If George Martin produced something, you should have it. If one of the Beatles plays a guest appearance on an album, you should have it. If they make an appearance. No, not really. I mean, I have the Harry Nilsson Pussycats album because John Lennon produced it. He's on the cover. I have Elephant's Memory, an album by them because John and Yoko produced it. I like that album. Believe it or not, when I played it, I liked it. Uh, it's the black and white cover, has an elephant, I think, on it. But yeah, I don't just automatically get everything just because it has George Martin on it or it has a Beatle playing on it, guesting on it. Some things, yes, not everything. My neighbor told me yesterday he got married to his girlfriend November 2nd. He has been living with her for over 10 years. So there you go. Good for him. Good for him. Congratulations. Uh, wouldn't it be funny if Now and Then was about May Pang, considering Yoko provided the tape? Um, I personally I don't know. John only knows that. But to tell you the truth, I think it's overstated by May. I think May Pang wants to feel and believe that this thing was going on and would have gone on, and I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think of Jeff Lynne as a sixth Beatle, no, but he did a lot of good stuff. To me, he did. A lot of people don't like Jeff Lynne. I do. You know. Do you own Thriller because of Michael Jackson or because of Paul's appearance, so that you happen to like his song with Michael? I own Thriller, and I love Thriller because of Thriller. It has nothing to do with Paul. In fact, the Paul McCartney song "The Girl Is Mine" with the two of them together, you could throw that in the garbage, as far as I'm concerned. I got it because I love Billie Jean and Beat It, and some other stuff on there. That's why. And Thriller was a big album in 1983, and I was out there on the dance floor as a wild man dancing to Billie Jean and Beat It. I got to live those days, and it was a great times. And I bought the album, and it had nothing to do with Paul. The same way the new Stones album has nothing to do with Paul. The reason I bought it. Okay, Jim, back to work. See you later. Uh, I don't believe that. Woodland Goblin says John missed Paul, and so he wrote that one then. We don't know. It could have been, but I think it was about Yoko. If it's about anybody, it was about Yoko, I think. John Alelo asks, "Do you think rock and roll is dead the way we used to know it?" I've said rock and roll is dead for a long time, and I kind of believed it. But now I'm thinking these days, maybe not as much. Now, I'm not talking about the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. I'm talking about um, other stuff by other artists. My nephew occasionally plays me some stuff, and some of it's very good. It's just that it's hidden and it doesn't really come up to the top anymore. Let's put it this way, I think rock and roll, if I did feel it was dead once upon a time, it's in better shape now than it was 10 years, 15, 20 years ago, in my opinion. Let's see. Do you remember your initial reaction to Free as a Bird? Oh, yeah, I thought it was dirgy and slow and pondering and boring and yawn-inducing. That's what I thought of it. W but I came to like it more. I like it a lot more now, and I do like that Paul and George sang on it. I think Paul and George adding to vocals to it helped it a lot. Yep. Rory says, "Nice to see Matthew Street on Fab Gab again." Yes, when I started the Fab Gab series, it was originally conceived it was going to be myself and Matthew Street, the two of us. But Matthew Street, he's a friend of mine, and we're buddies. But he just never, I don't think, wanted to he didn't want to commit to a regular live stream show. He said he'd like to be. He had a lot to do. His dad takes care of his elderly dad, and so you notice he doesn't. Matthew Street does not do many live appearances anywhere. He's only done a couple, two or three on his own channel. He doesn't go live very often. So yeah, he's not really big on that, I don't think. But whatever the case is, he's made some appearances. I know he's been on some other shows too. He's popped on Larry Graves' channel and some others. So he said, just let me know if you ever want to do a show with me. Depending on the topic, I'll come back on. So I asked him, and he said yes. But unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of time. He only had an hour left. So we were on about an hour and a half last night live, and Matt was only able to stay for about an hour. Now I see the sun is coming through right now, and I might have to go soon because sometimes the sun gets too much. I could stand up, but I don't know if I'll do that. No, I got pants on. Don't worry. I definitely have pants on. They're jogging pants, and I don't jog. I walk. But uh, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame show. Did not see it. What do I think of the song "Living Thing"? It's okay. I like "Living Thing." It's not one of my favorite ELO songs, but it's okay. Paul is a gentleman most of the time. Can you tell when he was in fighting mode at all with John during any footage that you have seen? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a little bit in Get Back when he was getting a little pissed off. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws. Yeah, the sun is coming through. Here comes the sun. It's not all right. Da-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let's see if I could fix this a little bit, folks. I'm gonna try. Gonna try. Ah, can't reach it. Can't reach it. Can't reach it. Oh, here goes. How's that? Is that better? It's better, right? Yeah. Okay, it's better. Free as a bird. Well, I'm not going to be on here much. Oh, I put the camera down. What? How's that? Yeah. All right. So, don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, folks. I'm not going to be here much longer. The most I have is maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes if I decide to stay the full length. So, any more comments? Okay. Zapplecore, Zapplecore says, not talking about the production, but what Beatles era do you think the tune of Now and Then sounds mostly like? To me, it sounds like a cross between Revolver and the White Album. I'm trying to think. Sounds like 2023, I think, most, but yeah, I guess, 67, 68, maybe. Woodland Goblin says Paul was in fighting mode with George because George always wanted to do his own thing on the guitar with Paul's songs. Well, yeah, and I'm on Paul's side with that. I believe that if it's Paul's song, he should have it played the way he wants it. However, having seen the footage and get back the way it is, Paul's getting really agitated the most over nothing. George is actually trying to be accommodating and work it out and say, come on, George is actually trying to be agreeable. Am I a Jet fan or a Giant fan? Eddie, come on, man. You watched me a long time. You should know I despise football with a passion. Come on, man. I'm neither. I don't care for football at all. If Now and Then reaches number one, are you going to throw a party? No, I won't throw a party, but I'll be damn happy. That's for sure. John agreed with Zappa that the Beatles were trash. Any thoughts on that? My thoughts on that is that I don't know what the hell you're talking about. John Lennon never thought the Beatles were trash. He defended the Beatles sometimes to people like Mick Jagger and other people who try to put him down. And he was a Beatles fan himself. He went out well, he had people pick up bootlegs. He liked to collect bootlegs. He was proud of the Beatles. I don't know what you're talking about with that. And as far as Zappa, I couldn't give a rat's ass about Frank Zappa. Okay, I never liked Frank Zappa. I don't get it with him at all. I think he was a jerk. And I'm saying I'm coming out. Oh, that's what I think of Frank Zappa. Okay, okay. I don't think anything of Frank Zappa. So there you go. Am I going to do a movie chat tomorrow? Well, that's funny. Movies have not been on my mind very much right now, but I guess I'll do some kind of. I haven't. I've let my movie channel go to hell for the last week because I've been. It's all been about Now and Then. That's how that goes. Woodland says John should never have associated himself with Zappa either. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand that. I don't approve of what John did. This whole thing about John took one of Zappa's songs, and there was a big thing, and he rearranged it or retitled it and all this kind of stuff. That's not cool. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's cool. I always say that's wrong of John to do that, and it's not cool. However, I don't care because I don't care about Frank Zappa. It doesn't affect me personally because you know. But I'm not saying John was right. It wasn't. John was wrong. You know. Are you doing a live review of the Red and the Blue albums? I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I got to think about that, Felix. How I'm going to handle that. Um, The Red and the Blue albums come out Friday, and I'm not really sure, like, say how I'm going to approach that really yet. We're going to do video. Am I going to do a live thing? I don't know. I'm probably going to do more Fab Gab shows. So, okay, Fabio says the black 7-inch vinyl of Now and Then is tough to get, sold out at a lot of places. I wonder if the black vinyl will be the one that's tough to get, kind of the way Elvis Presley's Moody Blue album. The blue vinyl is the most common, and on Elvis's album, the black is the one that's rare. So I wonder if it's going to be anything like that. We'll find out. Okay, so I'm here just an hour and 6 minutes. I don't like that number. Got to move. Got to change that number. And either I'll sign off in a moment or two, or we'll go a little bit longer, depending on how the comments go. Because you get to a point in every live stream, you get to a point where you kind of sense it's getting near the end. John Alelo says, "I believe the Beatles timed this Now and Then promotion at the right time." Do I think so too? Yeah, it's a good time. It's right around the Christmas time. Yeah, it's a good timing. Which version of "Love Me Do" I think will be on the Red album? I'm hoping it's the Andy White version, with the Randy, because that's the most popular one. And I also originally in 1973 on the original Red album, that's the one that was used. They used the one with Andy White. I mean, you have Ringo on the single, and you have Andy White on the album. That would be cool. Are you serious about that? Woodland says it's the same single version of "Love Me Do" on the new Red album. I heard. What are you saying? The one with Ringo on drums is going to be on the album? I hope not. It doesn't matter really. It's not. I'll take whatever I can get. Doesn't matter. But Richard James, what's the good word? Mr. Mayo, Now and Then has over 20 million views so far. That's awesome. That's pretty amazing. Okay, just a reminder, everybody, please subscribe to Talk More Talk. Tell them Joe Mayo sent you. And Talk More Talk tonight, we're doing a live show. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am going to be moderating it. I'm going to be the moderator this time out. And we're going to be talking about Now and Then again, because we got other people on there that want to discuss it. Kid O'Toole, Ken Michaels, John Montagna is going to be a guest. I don't know if you know John Montagna, but he's going to be a guest. So we have different voices on there from here that we haven't had here. I never heard the whole Moody Blue album by Elvis. I only know a couple of songs off it. Is it true that Ken Michaels isn't a fan of the new song? I won't really know till I talk to him tonight. Um, I don't know. I was under the impression that he was a little like iffy on it, but I haven't really heard it. I'm just hearing through the grapevine. I don't really know. Okay. Moody Blue. All right, folks. I think I'm going to sign off now. All right, so this is the end of another morning cup of Joe. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Will I do this again every morning? Lately, I've been doing it almost every morning, but I may skip here and there. We'll see how it goes. So, thank you very much for being here. I'm reading the last minute comments. And again, I'll just say it one more time. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Talk More Talk here on YouTube Live. We're going to be doing another Now and Then show, with different people. So be there, okay? And I'll see you. Cheers, all.